And it seems as though the climax to this arc continuously gives great progression to the story, epicness all around, interesting plot development, and overall, yeah, Attack on Titan the past couple months has been showing this is why Attack on Titan is that shit. This is why the anime blew up, and this is why they're calling it a once-in-a-decade type of series regarding its popularity and success, because this shit right now, like, chapters like this, I'm like, okay, now we're really getting into it. We're understanding even more about this world and all the fucked up nature of it. And like a lot of the political aspects of this arc is all coming together now, and seeing just how fucked up these humans are and how fucked up some of these people can be just being selfish. Now for starters, starting off with the whole Kenny situation where like we see his flashback with him being younger and everything, let's just jump right into it. When he was talking about the sister that he had that was in the underground brothel, immediately, if he's an Ackerman, and, you know, Levi is Levi Ackerman, and Mikasa is Mikasa Ackerman. Obviously, Mikasa is mixed, so that kid that was in his sister's stomach, I'm assuming could either be Levi or Mikasa, or who the hell knows, maybe she was having twins or something, I don't know. Maybe they were separated at birth or something, although Levi is quite a bit older than Mikasa, if I'm correct, so no, maybe not twins, but I'm guessing that that was either or, maybe more so towards Levi, because we do know that Levi grew up in the underground city, and that's possibly how they all connected. Maybe, you know, Kenny is Levi's uncle or something like that. We don't know exactly, but that was definitely set up and foreshadowing for later events of, like, finding out exactly their blood ties. And is it just me, or did the race feel like, okay, this is Frieza, and the Asians and the Ackermen are the Saiyans that they wanted to wipe out because they couldn't have total control. They were basically scared of them. And that's really the vibe I got from this. Like, these, you know, the monarch, the royalty or whatever, wanted absolute control, and they basically wanted to do it that way. And it's kind of like, again, these family, the set of family was like, no, fuck you. And it also kind of reminds me of One Piece as well, in a way, with the whole theory regarding the will of D and the families and all that other shit, you know, again. So it kind of gives me a little bit of a vibe from each of those things, except like this is way more fucked up as far as like you have these titans and shit, and the way the monarch was trying to control people by wiping out memories. And the thing about it is, if you look at it, Mikasa is probably, if they, I mean, I think they're aware of her. I think they gotta be aware of her, whatever. The monarch would probably want her dead the most out of everything, because remember, she's mixed. She's Asian and Ackerman, the two families that the monarch is like, fuck you. So if they kill Mikasa, first of all, I am going to be so sad at some given point. But I mean, if they, you know, start putting two and two together and they're like, we need to wipe out this bloodline, this is a combination of something very bad. And if I'm correct, she's the last Asian left, which, by the way, it feels weird talking, like, saying, oh, the Asian or whatever. And I'm not trying to, you know, I'm just going off of what they were called in the actual manga. So I'm not trying to offend anybody, in case anybody like, why are you calling? No, that's what they're actually called in the manga, whatever. And this kind of plays back as well from even the very beginning of the series. Remember, we found out that it was very rare to see Asians anymore. They were almost all wiped out. And now it's all tying into because the monarch are a bunch of pieces of shit. And then finding out a little bit more about Kenny. Kenny is kind of like, he's starting to look a little bit more like an anti-hero or something. Like, he has his own code, I feel, and his own guidelines, because like you could see he was a piece of shit. Like the way he was talking to his grandfather and everything, like, you're not dead yet and shit like that. So you can definitely see Kenny's not, you know, a nice guy. Hey, I'm gonna give you a hug, granny. But he definitely has some sort of morals that he sticks by, and some values and everything, because like, for example, it was like, no, I'm not letting you eat this boy without him giving a fighting chance. I'm going to give him a fighting chance, and I'm going to let him turn into a titan, and then whatever happens from there, that's out of my hands. But at the very least, I want to give him a shot. So you can see that Kenny is kind of like, right now, fuck, what do I do? It's like, I don't even know, because it seems as though his probably goal was, I'm going to single-handedly save humanity. And once he found out that he couldn't obtain this power and everything, it's like, fuck, I'm screwed. Let me just see these two duke it out or something. And that kind of shows again that Kenny's not evil. He just, if anything, was looking to find peace in his own methods. And maybe it's just me, but to a small degree, fuck Historia. Because the way she's talking in this chapter, up until the end when you start seeing tears in her eyes, but for the most part, she has no compassion for Eren. And I understand that Krista was a false, you know, it was a facade that she had. She was never really that nice girl or whatever, but come on, have some fucking compassion. She's like, nope, I'm gonna eat this motherfucker, I'm gonna save man, I don't give a fuck. It's like, this was the same comrade that trained and grew older with you and was around you and you spent time with him, and she's just there, no compassion whatsoever, up until Eren was basically gladly like, yeah, no, take my life. I'm a piece of shit or whatever. And then she had a couple of tears and she's still like, nah, fuck that shit. No. Like, come on. Like, really? So I was definitely like puzzled and a little bit irritated with how Historia was acting that way. And again, it kind of falls into her characterization simply because we found out again, Krista was a facade and she was just kind of like this empty person that's been through fucked up things. So I guess it's more so from a fandom perspective that I'm like, you piece of shit, have some sympathy. This motherfucker went through hell and back with you and has been in this shitty world as well. And I ain't gonna lie, a part of me, because of stuff like that, was glad that Kenny broke it down to her and was like, bitch, you a mistake. I was like, you deserve that. You deserve that because look how you're treating Eren. Period. Eren, at the end of the day, whatever his father did, that's his father. But you're just there, eat this motherfucker, fuck it. Like, no. So when Kenny was just like, you're a mistake, you're a piece of shit, you could definitely see that Kenny has some deep wounds in him because he cared for Ray's brother, you know, the head race guy, whatever, his brother, whatever. He truly cared for him. So when he was bad-mouthing, he was like, motherfucker, I will blow your brains out. So when he was doing that to him and he was shoving the knife, it's kind of like he probably felt bad that his brother had to go through, you know, becoming a Titan and this and that. So to him, it was kind of like, fuck this guy. And it kind of makes me wonder, I think he was telling the truth in the sense that he can't become a Titan and there's some sort of reason why. So that was more set up for something to be later revealed or whatever. Because, I mean, at the right here, if he really wanted to put the needle in, become a Titan, whatever. And again, unless he's the most extreme of extreme cowards, he might have some validity in what he's saying. So I'll give him that much, but he's still a pile of shit. I mean, Kenny broke it down. He didn't give a fuck about his daughter. He's only using her for her bloodline. I forget sometimes, like, Attack on Titan is shonen, and this guy is shoving a giant fucking knife down this dude's neck, cutting him up like, Jesus. And also, we get a little bit more insight as well, and like, the way the whole Titan system is set up and the bodies and the structure of them, you can definitely see it was very intricate because they basically only need to drink the fluid, the spinal fluid, for her to get the powers. And I'm assuming that that's the same thing as well regarding becoming a shifter. You don't really necessarily need the entire body. You just need the fluid in the spine. And if you think back, like, their weak point is the nape of the neck, which is pretty much connected to the spine. So it was a very intricate design, however the Titans were created. So whoever or however it happened, I think it's more than just like nature sprouted them out of a fucking eggplant or something. Something happened where it was very intricately made to do this. And then in the end, you could definitely see Historia is about to go in, and I'm imagining the type of Titan that she's going to be based on what the race guy was saying, like, I got the best of the best for her, the best fighting and everything. She is going to be an absolute monster, and it's going to be crazy. We got all the scouts right there, just about to head into there. This is going to be an amazing battle, so an amazing setup at the end as well. Some great progression. I mean, at the end of the day, I felt for Eren, I'm not going to lie. He was like, I mean, personally, I would have been like, fuck you at the end of the day. When my father did that, had nothing to do with me. I'm not sacrificing myself. Not that I'm selfish, but I don't deserve it either. But I understand, and it just kind of felt a little bit heart-wrenching, so to speak, like him just there pleading, like, you know what, just take my life if it means I'll save humanity. So I felt a little bit bad, and at the end of the day, this, you know, the end of the chapter was just a really interesting setup, to say the least. So we're gonna have a huge Titan fight upcoming, hopefully, and it's probably gonna destroy that entire cave. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not even supposed to go into Titan form in like confined spaces. Remember Annie? And with all that being said, just a great chapter yet again. 9 out of 10. Attack on Titan. Keep banging them chapters that are of this level of quality, progression, and everything, and we're golden, because that was a great chapter yet again. It's like Historia, she kind of comes across as a bit of a piece of shit, honestly. Just the lack of emotion up until the end was like, fuck you. Kenny, starting to unravel a little bit more about him. He's not all that bad as he seems. It's just that he has, you know, fucked up methods. And Race, he's a piece of shit, but there are reasons behind why he's a piece of shit. And some of it is selfish, but then at the same time, it's like, do you trust him? And yeah, craziness. 9 out of 10. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.